A millionaire's son demanded I let him cut in line at a luxury store because regular people should wait behind the rich. When I refused, he threw my shopping bag on the floor and sneered, "I could buy this entire store." The manager rushed over as I pulled out my receipt and said, "Then let's see if you can buy your way out of a ban." It was a brisk autumn afternoon in New York City. The kind where the air is crisp and the golden hues of the leaves contrast beautifully against the steel and glass of towering skyscrapers. I had decided to reward myself after months of hard work. So, I made my way to Saks Fifth Avenue, the iconic luxury department store known for its high-end fashion and clientele. The store was bustling. Shoppers moved from one section to another, admiring the latest designer collections. I had already made a purchase, a pair of elegant heels that caught my eye the moment I walked in. With my shopping bag in hand, I joined the line at the cashier to pay for a silk scarf I decided to add to my collection. As I stood there, mentally planning the outfits I'd pair with my new acquisitions, I noticed a commotion near the entrance. A young man, probably in his early 20s, strode in with an air of arrogance that was hard to miss. Dressed in a tailored suit that screamed designer and wearing a watch that could probably cover my rent for a year, he exuded an aura of entitlement. He made his way toward the cashier, bypassing the line entirely. Just as he was about to step in front of me, I spoke up. "Excuse me," I said firmly. "The line starts back there." He turned to face me, a smirk playing on his lips. "Do you have any idea who I am?" he sneered. I met his gaze, unfazed. "No, and it doesn't matter. Everyone waits their turn." His smirk widened into a condescending grin. "I'm Alexander Whitmore. My father is Jonathan Whitmore." The name rang a bell. Jonathan Whitmore was a billionaire real estate mogul, known for his vast empire and influence in the city. "That's nice," I replied, maintaining my composure. "But your last name doesn't grant you special privileges here." His eyes narrowed. "People like you should know their place. Regular folks wait behind the rich." A murmur ran through the line as other shoppers began to take notice of the escalating situation. I felt a surge of indignation. "Everyone here is waiting their turn," I said, my voice steady. "Your wealth doesn't exempt you from common courtesy." His face flushed with anger. Without warning, he reached out, snatched the shopping bag from my hand, and tossed it onto the floor. The contents spilled out, my newly purchased heels now lying unceremoniously on the polished marble. "I could buy this entire store," he declared loudly, drawing the attention of nearly everyone in the vicinity. The room fell silent. All eyes were on us. Before I could respond, a woman in her 40s approached swiftly. Her name tag read Ms. Caldwell. "Is there a problem here?" she inquired, her tone calm but authoritative. I bent down, gathering my belongings, and stood up to face her. This gentleman decided he didn't need to wait in line like everyone else. When I pointed it out, he threw my bag on the floor. Ms. Caldwell turned her gaze to Alexander. "Mr. Whitmore, is this true?" He crossed his arms defiantly. "Do you know how much money my father spends here? I could have your job with a single phone call." Unfazed, Ms. Caldwell replied, "While we appreciate Mr. Whitmore's patronage, we do not tolerate disrespectful behavior toward our customers or staff." He scoffed. "Are you seriously lecturing me right now?" She nodded. "Yes, and I'm afraid I'm going to have to ask you to leave." His face turned a shade redder. "You can't be serious." She remained steadfast. "If you refuse, I'll have no choice but to call security." Realizing he was outnumbered and that the situation wasn't tilting in his favor, he let out a frustrated grunt. "This isn't over," he muttered before storming out of the store. Miss Caldwell turned to me, her expression softening. "I apologize for that unpleasant experience. Please, allow me to offer you a discount on your purchases today." I smiled, appreciating the gesture. "Thank you, but that's not necessary. I just hope he learns that money doesn't excuse bad behavior." She nodded in agreement. "We strive to ensure all our customers are treated with respect. If there's anything else I can assist you with, please let me know." As I left the store, I couldn't help but reflect on the encounter. In a city as vast and diverse as New York, it was a stark reminder that entitlement knows no bounds. But it was also a testament to the fact that integrity and respect still held value, even in the most unexpected places. 2 days later, I got a phone call at work. Unknown number. I usually ignore those, but something made me pick up. "Hello, is this Ms. Ayers?" a voice asked. Calm, but cold. "Yes, this is she. This is Randall from Saks Fifth Avenue Corporate. I'm calling about an incident that took place at our Fifth Avenue location earlier this week." My stomach turned. "Yes, we've received a formal complaint. Someone claims you caused a scene and verbally assaulted a valued customer. They're asking that you be permanently banned from all Saks locations." For a second, I couldn't speak. "Excuse me?" The report came from a Mr. Alexander Whitmore. Of course. The name hit like a punch. I took a deep breath and told Randall exactly what happened. I gave names, time, details, even described the shoes I bought. He listened, quiet, typing something as I spoke. Then he said, "I believe you. I'm familiar with that manager, Ms. Caldwell. She's always been fair. But this came from above my department. Mr. Whitmore's father is a top-tier client. He spends millions here every year. So what does that mean?" I asked. "It means I'm going to escalate this myself. But I wanted to warn you that if anyone contacts you pretending to be media or press, don't say anything yet." By the time I hung up, my hands were shaking. The next day, my email was flooded. Messages from unknown senders, some threatening, some creepy, all about the incident. One said, "You humiliated the wrong person." Another one? "Hope your job doesn't mind bad publicity." They knew my name. Some had my work address. Then the phone at my office rang. My receptionist looked confused. "It's someone from the New York Business Journal?" I took the call. A reporter named Tara. She said she'd gotten a tip that I had a history of causing disruptions in high-end stores. I told her that was a lie. She said a source from inside Saks said I was confrontational and aggressive. I asked her not to run anything, at least not without hearing the full story. She agreed, reluctantly. I called Ms. Caldwell. She sounded stressed but solid. "I got pulled into a meeting about it," she said. "The higher-ups are worried about losing Whitmore's money." But I told them the truth. A few hours later, I got a call from a private number. This time, it was a man's voice. "You think you can play hero? You don't know who you're messing with." Click. No name, but I knew exactly who it was. It got worse. My social media got hit. Fake accounts tagging me in posts calling me a liar, a gold digger, a clout chaser. I locked everything down. Then someone emailed my boss. Subject line, "Is this who you employ?" Inside was a screen grab of a Reddit post, not mine, accusing me of harassing a poor young man just trying to shop in peace. It said I was a career Karen who lived to ruin men's lives. I could barely breathe. I went straight to my boss. She was calm but alarmed. "We're not taking action based on anonymous tips," she said. "But you should be careful. This looks like a smear campaign." I knew that already. So I did something I hadn't done yet. I called a lawyer. He was sharp, mid-40s, the kind of guy who had sued billionaires before. After I told him everything, he leaned back in his chair and said, "This is targeted harassment. And if he's using his father's company resources, that's corporate liability." We started gathering evidence. Messages, emails, voicemails, screenshots, everything. I gave him names: Randall, Caldwell, Tara from the paper. Then we found out something else. Tara, the reporter, emailed me again. "Your story checks out," she wrote. "I spoke to a sales associate who saw the whole thing. She said you were calm and polite. They're scared to talk publicly, though." I asked why. She said they were afraid of losing their jobs. The Whitmores donate millions to charities. They know everyone. Board members. Politicians. But Tara wasn't scared. She said, "If you want to go public, I'll print the truth." I wasn't ready yet. But it was coming. That night, my lawyer called me again. "We found something," he said. "You're going to want to sit down." I sat down at my kitchen table, phone pressed to my ear, half a cup of tea going cold in front of me. We traced the smear campaign back to a private PR firm in Midtown, my lawyer said. One that specializes in crisis management. What does that have to do with me? I asked, although I already had a sinking feeling. The firm was hired by Whitmore and Sons Real Estate Group, directly. Payment went through an LLC, but the billing name is Alexander Whitmore. I was quiet. My mouth was dry. He's paying a firm to destroy your reputation, he said. The posts, the fake social media accounts, the leaks to the press, someone's managing it. That's not a coincidence. That night, I couldn't sleep. Every sound outside my window made me jump. My phone kept buzzing with alerts, comments from fake accounts, even random messages like "We know where you work and you should apologize before it gets worse." I started checking over my shoulder, looking for unfamiliar cars outside, asking my building's doorman to let me know if anyone came asking for me. Then one day, a letter arrived. Hand-delivered. No return address. Inside was a single piece of paper. Drop the lawyer. Walk away, or you'll regret it. My hands trembled as I read it. I took a photo, bagged it in a Ziploc, and handed it over to my lawyer. Now it's criminal, he said. He filed a restraining order. He filed a complaint with the NYPD. They opened a case. But when money's involved, things move slow. The next twist hit harder. I was walking home from work when a black SUV slowed down next to me on the street. I didn't recognize the driver, but the window rolled down and someone inside snapped a photo. No words, just a flash. Then they drove off. The next morning, that photo showed up online with the caption, "Angry woman on the warpath, here she comes again." It was posted from a fresh account. No name, no trace. Just hate. My lawyer had already hired a tech investigator. He traced the IP to the same PR firm. Again. I have enough to file an injunction, he told me. This could go federal. Harassment. Cyberstalking. Coordinated defamation. I wanted to fight, but I was also scared. That's when something unexpected happened. Miss Caldwell, the manager from Saks, called me. I couldn't stay quiet, she said. I'm going to testify. HR told me not to get involved, but I saw what happened. He threw your bag. He insulted you. And now he's trying to destroy you. She wasn't the only one. One of the cashiers sent an anonymous statement through my lawyer. Then a security guard did the same. None of them wanted their names out yet, but they were slowly coming forward. Then the real break came. Tara, the reporter, called again. I have someone from inside the PR firm willing to talk. They want to stay anonymous, but they say Alexander ordered the smear campaign himself. His father doesn't even know. That was the crack in the armor. Turns out, Jonathan Whitmore, the billionaire dad, had no idea what his son was doing behind his back. The PR firm was hired through a shell company Alexander controlled with a college buddy. They were using daddy's money, but keeping it quiet. When Jonathan found out, according to Tara, he blew up. Not because he cared about me, necessarily, but because it was sloppy, risky, dangerous. That night, everything went quiet. The fake accounts stopped posting. The press backed off. Even the SUV disappeared. But I wasn't done. Neither was my lawyer. The court date was coming. And Alexander? He had no idea what was waiting for him. The courtroom smelled like coffee and old wood. My stomach felt like a fist. I'd never been part of a legal battle this serious before. My lawyer told me to breathe, to let the truth do the talking. But it wasn't easy. Not with Alexander sitting across the room, wearing a smug smile like he owned the whole place. He looked different, less bold, more tired. His lawyer whispered things to him constantly, like they were playing damage control before anything even started. His father wasn't there. That said something. The judge was sharp. He didn't waste time. My lawyer laid everything out. The video from the store, the emails, the fake accounts, the screenshots of the threats, the PR firm payments. Then he introduced the anonymous tip from someone inside the PR firm. Even though the identity was sealed, The words carried weight. The client, Alexander Whitmore, instructed us to discredit and shame a woman he had an altercation with, using fabricated social content and media manipulation. I watched Alexander shrink into his chair. Then Ms. Caldwell walked up to the witness stand. She didn't hesitate. She told the room exactly what happened that day, how Alexander threw my bag, insulted me, and demanded to skip the line. Her voice didn't shake. Another witness, a security guard, gave his version next. Quiet, but clear. The man thought he was above everyone, like we were beneath him. Then it was Alexander's turn. His lawyer pushed some nonsense about provocation and a misunderstanding that escalated. But when the judge asked if he had ordered the PR attack, he stumbled. I asked them to correct the story. That's it. My lawyer stood up with the proof. The payments, the memos, the paper trail of exactly what they were hired to do. No room to squirm. His voice cracked after that. He finally admitted to it, sort of. I got carried away. She humiliated me. My father was furious. I panicked. The judge didn't even blink. I don't care about your embarrassment, Mr. Whitmore. What you did was cruel and calculated. And your wealth does not shield you from consequences. In the end, the court ruled in my favor. Harassment, defamation, emotional distress. He was ordered to pay a hefty fine, plus legal costs. A restraining order was made permanent. And his name? It was splattered across every news outlet the next day. Millionaire's son loses case after targeted harassment campaign. But the fallout didn't stop there. His father publicly distanced himself from him, released a statement saying he was deeply disappointed, pulled him from any company connections. He was cut off financially. The PR firm? Sued and disbanded. The lawyer who helped cover it? Disbarred after an ethics review. But I didn't walk away clean either. My job kept me, but it was never the same. People stared. Some coworkers supported me. Others kept their distance. A few blamed me for going after a kid who made a mistake. The thing that hit hardest? I lost sleep for months. I checked locks twice. I got quiet. Even after the threats stopped, my nerves didn't. I caught myself looking over my shoulder in parking garages, watching strangers too closely. I fought. I won. But it cost me something I didn't expect: my peace. And I had to admit to myself, part of me liked seeing him fall. Not just for justice. For revenge. For every night I cried. Every insult. Every threat. Every friend who ghosted me because they didn't want drama. That part of me? It scared me a little. But I'd do it again. Because silence would have been easier. Quieter. But not right. I didn't deserve to be stepped on by someone who thinks money makes them untouchable. And neither do you.